wanted to let you know that we have greetings coming to you from three people. First, the Provost of Howard University, Wayne A.I. Frederick, a surgeon who's become a major figure now at Howard University. He'll be followed by Ralph Everett, who is the President and CEO of the Joint Center for Political and Economic Studies. And he will be followed by Elsie Scott, who's the founding director of the Ronald W. Walters Leadership and Public Policy Center here at Howard University. I'd like them to come up and give you greetings for the three co-sponsoring organizations. Thank you.
Good morning. I'd like to start by thanking Dr. Green for his leadership in bringing such a summit here to Howard University. This is exactly the type of activity that we as a university would like to continue to be involved in. And the issues at hand that will be discussed at the summit, as you look at the topics, I think certainly are germane to our times. The one issue that I can certainly comment on is when you look at what the economic environment we're in is doing to higher education, we are in some tough times where funding is certainly under duress, but more importantly, our students' of color, their ability to pay for college and to come to receive a higher education is certainly significantly compromised, probably more so than at any other time in the history of our university. Costs are rising for them, but their opportunity to obtain loans and scholarships, those opportunities are certainly dwindling. And that's one that we're certainly concerned about. Here at Howard, our undergrad campus is made up of 48% of the student body is Pell Grant eligible. And that means that their ability to fund their education is significantly compromised. They depend heavily on other economic factors to assist them. When they do get into college, the amount of borrowing that they have to do certainly leads to an output that also concerns us. They're straddled with more debt than ever before, and as they try to get their start in the real world, as we say, they certainly are compromised. So it certainly is a time where it's important. And at every level, I think these are discussions that need to take place. We certainly need to weave some of these discussions into our curriculum more so. So I certainly hope as well throughout the day that we would have students come and attend. So I'd like to thank you again for coming out here to Howard University. We certainly are proud to have you, and I hope that you would enjoy the summit. Thank you again, Dr. Green.
Good morning. On behalf of the Joint Center for Political and Economic Studies, I want to welcome all of you to Howard University and express our deepest appreciation to our sponsors and the participants in today's events, and a special thank you to Howard University and Duke University Research Network on Racial and Ethnic Studies for their work in bringing all of us here today. And it's also great to see my friend, Congressman Bobby Scott, who I look forward to hearing from in a few minutes. In many respects, I believe that President Obama faces one of the toughest challenges ever to confront a newly elected president. Some would say that his recent victory was a mandate, and I think that we all agree that the president should do everything in his power to advance his first-term agenda and finish the job, so to speak, in ensuring that the benefits of the economic recovery he has shepherded are flowing to all segments of our society. The president had spoken during his first term of building back better, and we would all like to see him pursue that course. And his inaugural remarks were an encouraging sign that he is ready to take on that challenge. But the political and media landscape is entirely different than it was even just a decade ago. National political polarization is higher than anyone who is alive today can remember. The media filter that used to exist is long gone, and today anyone can get on television or on the internet. The most unhinged of minority views can become tidal waves that move the political meter, and there is no shortage of politicians and other leaders who have learned how to exploit this. But this can cut both ways, of course, and there are opportunities and there are pitfalls. But no president has ever had to face this landscape before. And so I hope that in our discussions today, we can be mindful not only of what the president should be doing, but also of the practical considerations, and particularly how the president can use his political skills to overcome what I'm sure will continue to be a determined opposition ready to use every trick in the book to frustrate his efforts. And I'd like us also to keep in mind that while we want to challenge the president to continue with a program that will move America forward, we have to give some thought to how we can help him reach out and convene members of the other party that they too have a responsibility to all people, not just those they think they are representing. How can the president get them to understand and realize and act on the proposition that America does best when it ensures that everyone has equal opportunity to make something of themselves and to succeed and to live their dreams? So I look forward to hearing the ideas from the distinguished panelists today, and I thank you again for being here.
Good morning. I'm Elsie Scott. I'm the director of the Ron Walters Leadership and Public Policy Center here at Howard University. And so I would like to, on behalf of the center, to welcome you to this fourth Economic Summit. I first would like to thank Dr. Green and the Center for Urban Progress for inviting us to be a part of this. I also would like to thank Ralph Everett and the Joint Center for agreeing to come and join us today. And I want to offer a special thank you to Congressman Bobby Scott for joining us here today. I hope that more students will join us and take advantage of this, but we are live streaming, so there are a number of people who are joining us that are not in the room today. When we first started planning this summit, the attention was all on the so-called fiscal cliff. Congress provided a temporary fix, but we know that the economic crisis still is in our face. There are so many problems facing the 113th Congress and the second Obama administration. I'm very pleased that we have brought together African American scholars to weigh in on some of the critical issues facing the economy of the United States. We hope that this summit will spur discussion and engagement. As Ralph has said, we really need to be engaged and not just sitting back and talking about what the president is or is not doing, or what the administration is or is not doing, but we also have to look at what we can do and what we should be doing. Before I take my seat, let me just say a few things about the Ron Walters Leadership and Public Policy Center. Many of you here today knew Dr. Walters, or you knew of him. He was a member of the political science faculty here at Howard University and served for a number of years as the chair of the department. After Ron Walters died, the leadership here at Howard University thought it only fitting that we should preserve the legacy of Dr. Walters by establishing a center in his name. In October, I came over to Howard University from the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation to serve as the founding director of the Walters Center. The center will incorporate 4 major themes that help to define the professional life of Dr. Walters: scholarship, activism, leadership, and public policy. We hope to have visiting scholars and visiting fellows, where we will bring in seasoned scholars and junior scholars, as well as former public servants, to engage in research projects and to share their knowledge with the students here at Howard. We hope to publish research reports, policy briefs and papers, journal articles, fact sheets, books, and monographs. We hope to connect political theory and research with activism, as you know, Ron Walters was all about. We hope to bring the resource and expertise of the university to policymakers and the public. We hope to play a major role in nurturing and developing leaders and providing resources to political leaders, policymakers, and nonprofit leaders. We will be collaborating with the various departments here at Howard University to host lectures, symposia, and public events. Our vision is that the Ron Walters Center will serve as an epicenter for policy discussions and research on issues critical to the global Black community. We hope that we can call on you to help us as we try to preserve the legacy of Ron Walters and develop the next generation of Ron Walters.